It will be unlike any other NFL season in history, and it kicks off on Thursday Night Football with the reigning champs and their $500 million man.
Patrick Mahomes, he landed at the top of this list right here. No surprise as we look at the largest contracts by maximum value in NFL history.
The Chiefs are looking to become the first team since the 2003-2004 Patriots to go back-to-back.
And they have done it. Chiefs are Super Bowl champions here in Super Bowl 54.
And the biggest reason to believe, most of their key players on both sides of the ball are back. But winning the conference is no given with the league's reigning MVP running around in Baltimore.
Jackson dropped it right in the breadbasket.
Lamar Jackson's stats were silly. And it wasn't just those ground numbers either. Sure feels like we're looking at the modernized version of Brady Manning with Lamar and Mahomes. Number 8's had 2 shots at number 15 so far and come up short in both.
The clash of QBs. This duel belongs to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Good game, man. We need your thing, bro.
Yes, sir. We're going to see y'all again.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Chiefs-Ravens Week 3, must see. But so are the 2 new stadiums making their debuts this year.
The Rams holding their first ever practice on the field in their new home.
The Rams will open up the doors to SoFi Stadium in Week 1 against the Cowboys.
The stadium, first off, is absolutely incredible.
The Raiders follow suit in Week 2 when they'll break in Allegiant Stadium for the first time.
Go out there and let them fly, baby. Have fun.
The Chargers also play in their new digs for the first time ever, also in Week 2, back in LA at SoFi, and they'll do it with a QB not named Phillip Rivers for the first time in 14 years.
Phillip Rivers spent most of his career wearing the blue of the Chargers, but now he's going to be wearing the blue of the Colts.
Rivers is one of several new faces who will start under center in 2020. The Colts hoping he has plenty left in the tank to get them back into the playoffs.
Gosh, you put me on the spot there.
Teddy Bridgewater now has the keys in Carolina, which meant Superman had to find a new home. And what a home he found.
I think if you're Cam Newton and you kind of look with a jealous eye at the New England Patriots, and man, one day I'd love to be able to play inside that organization and that structure with the championship foundation they have built. And then you get your wish.
I'm just looking forward to the challenge.
Was it the chicken or the egg? Bill Belichick gets to see what life is like without a certain someone, but he gets Cam Newton to take his place?
Can Cam Newton return back to MVP form? You can't cancel a guy if he still has game left, and Cam Newton has a lot of game left.
The Pats instantly became one of the most fascinating teams to watch. And so are the Bucs, of course.
Former Patriots quarterback Tom Brady has an agreement to join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
TB12 did what plenty of Northeasterners do as they get a little older. They moved to Florida. He, of course, talked Gronk out of retirement.
A little tired, but Gronk reported.
And all of a sudden, there's major buzz in Tampa. And you've heard, right? The Super Bowl? It's in Tampa this year. It may feel like the Super Bowl in Week 6 there, too. Packers-Bucs, the rubber match between Brady and Rodgers. They're 1-1 against each other so far.
One more, boys. We need one more.
Plus, we get Brady-Breeze twice.
Speaking of Tom Brady and Drew Brees, Tom Brady, I think, is the greatest quarterback this league has ever seen. Drew Brees, the most accurate guy we've ever seen. But the longevity that those two have is unreal.
Number 9 could really be in for a big year because he still has number 13.
Nobody has ever said it better than Mike Thomas did himself. You simply can't guard Mike. 144 receptions. Mike Thomas is your new single-season record holder.
What does Michael Thomas do for an encore? Most catches in one season ever in NFL history last year. Saints may be more dangerous, though, if he doesn't catch as many, because that means new addition Emmanuel Sanders is working out.
Emmanuel Sanders now, a new toy for Drew Brees.
The biggest wide receiver addition, though, had to be the Cards adding D-Hop.
Nuke Hopkins, now an Arizona Cardinal, looking for big things from those two on offense.
Kyler Murray, Offensive Rookie of the Year last year, and now he has Hopkins and Larry Legend. Is this team ready to make the leap?
I should have put that a little bit more in front of you, though. That's a good catch.
Not going to be easy in that division, though. Russell Wilson up in the Northwest still. Seattle's D adding Jamal Adams.
At the end of the day, man, this is my calling. This is where I need to be. I'm here to help. And, I can't wait to get out there in front of the 12s. Man.
And let's not forget the reigning NFC champs.
Congratulations, 49ers. Super Bowl bound 54. We'll see you in Miami.
Jimmy G, Kittle, Mostert, Deebo Samuel, Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, Richard Sherman. San Francisco is still loaded and still hungry. Hungry is what King Henry must be too. The Titans running back destroyed opposing defenses all year long, including Baltimore's, crushing their Super Bowl dreams.
Whoever y'all see, bro, give the ball to Derrick Henry.
The Titans want to prove their late season surge was no fluke and that what we saw from Ryan Tannehill wasn't either.
Tannehill running the option, dives in, touchdown, Titans!
And they can prove that playoff win wasn't either because they get the Ravens again in Week 11.
We ain't done dancing. We ain't done dancing.
There are so many major storylines. What does a Steelers team that went 8-8 without Big Ben do with him?
Big Ben is back, and the Steelers hope that means they'll be back in the playoffs after a 2-year hiatus.
What does a Houston team that went 10-6 with DeAndre Hopkins do without him?
How can you trade DeAndre Hopkins for a 2, a 4, and a hoop?
And welcome to Joe's Jungle. Bengals fans are ready to go Burrow bonkers for the #1 overall pick from last year's draft.
You know, I think it's going to be a great relationship, and I think we're going to win a lot of football games, and that's going to make it a lot better.
Will he get a chance to face off with any of his fellow first-round signal callers, though? The other 3 aren't starting just yet, but the Bengals do get the Dolphins in Week 13, so maybe it'll be Tua time by then, or Tagovailoa time, if you will.
Tua Tagovailoa looked pretty good at practice today with the deep ball.
Miami overhauled their roster, hoping to close the gap on New England, but the team that must really think it's finally ready to dethrone them, the Bills.
I truly believe we've got one of the best locker rooms in the league, and that's a credit to our front office and to our coaching staff to kind of putting us on the right trajectory of what we're doing.
Buffalo's D was as good as it gets, and they're hoping now that Josh Allen has Stephon Diggs to throw to, the offense is going to catch up.
Off by Diggs! Oh my God! What an unbelievable play!
Leading to an AFC East division winner not named the Patriots for the first time since 2008.
Work for right here. Come on, pound level, pound level.
What else? Minshew Magic, Minshew Mania, whatever you call it, it's taking center stage in Duval this season.
Gardner Minshew gets another run at the theater.
Mustaches are back in style in Jacksonville.
The Falcons welcome Todd Gurley back home.
The Atlanta Falcons have a loaded offense, and if everyone stays healthy, that means Todd Gurley's having a huge season.
Kirk Cousins wants to build off his playoff success.
I got 3 words for you. You like that? Yeah!
How many wins is Matthew Stafford worth in Detroit? Will Mitch Trubisky hold the QB job in Chicago? Is Drew Lock's 4-1 record last year a sign of things to come in Denver?
We got a lot of work to be the Kansas City Chiefs, but with the weapons in place, there is the potential to be that.
Was it really injuries that held Philly back from bigger things?
Carson Wentz walked back to the locker room. He is being evaluated for a head injury.
Washington wants to see how excited they should be about #2 overall pick Chase Young.
Definitely a special moment. I'm just blessed to be here.
New Yorkers of both colors want to see how much better their young QBs will be.
This is exactly why Dave Gettleman thought this kid could be a difference maker.
The G-Men also have a new head coach in Joe Judge. Carolina has one in Matt Rule. Ron Rivera is in Washington. Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland. Will his steady hand turn Baker back around?
You know, the individual success comes with the team success, so we just have to go out there and execute and do it.
The Cowboys also have a new cook in the kitchen, Mike McCarthy.
I'm having a moment here because I don't know where the hell to put my hands. I never sat at a table for a press conference, so.
Their offensive stats were ridiculous last year, and the personnel responsible for them are pretty much back.
They went with Mike McCarthy on the basis of how positive he was that he can make Dak Prescott into an elite quarterback and bring glory back to the Cowboys.
Makes it feel like there's 100 teams that could make the playoffs. Good thing then, there are a few more seats at the playoff table this year.
#1 headline, the playoffs, Ian, are expanding.
For the first time since 1990, the playoff format has been expanded. 7 teams on each side, top team the only one to get a bye.
On Saturday when the playoffs begin, it's now going to be 3 games instead of usual 2. NBC and CBS pick up an additional game.
And how about those fantasy performances we saw last year? Christian McCaffrey came up just 10 points shy of setting the single-season fantasy points record in 2019. LaDainian Tomlinson, he's coming after you. But so is Lamar.
He's an MVP for a reason. I kid you not, like half the time I didn't know who had the ball.
Jackson's combo of rushing and passing had never been seen before from the QB position, but he wasn't alone because for the first time in NFL history, each of the top 10 fantasy QBs had 150-plus rushing yards in 2019. First time that's ever happened.
Woo!
And speaking of records, there were 1,244 offensive touchdowns scored last season, the second most ever.
And the Packers are playing games with the Cowboys that the Cowboys can't answer.
The record was set in 2018 with 1,288. So, could we see it toppled this year? And yes, all this excitement will take place at a lot of empty stadiums, to start at least. Teams are making sure they are in compliance with state and local regulations. So far, only the Cowboys, Colts, Jaguars, Chiefs, and Dolphins have announced plans to have fans in limited capacity. You'll still hear the fans, though. The league has worked with NFL Films to create an authentic audio track, aka artificial crowd noise, that's unique to each stadium. And the league has implemented extensive protocols to protect players and fans, including testing, tracing, and socially distanced facilities and locker rooms. With more fans set to watch from home this year, we could see some NFL TV records broken.
56 Kurt Warner records broken
counting,
by
Rich,
Patrick
and
Mahomes
counting.
alone, and that's
Just
pretty
getting
good.
started.
Okay, what do you have for me, Steve?
NFL television viewership has increased in each of the last 3 seasons, averaging over 16 million viewers per game last year. The record, 18.7 million, set in 2015. So as you watch, you could be part of NFL history, a season you're likely never to forget.